Good morning students, this is class 12th maths lecture 1st of chapter 2nd inverse trigonometric functions. So today we will discuss about inverse trigonometric functions, but before that I'll make you revise the trigonometric functions. So the first trigonometric function is sine. Domain of the function sine is R, that is the complete set of reals, and range of the sine function is from -1 to 1. Similarly, the cosine function also, its domain is R and the range is from -1 to 1. Now the next is tangent function. Now domain of the tangent function is R minus this set. Why? Because tangent is sine upon cos and cos is 0 at the odd multiples of pi by 2. Therefore, we have to delete those values of x which is odd multiple of pi by 2, right? So, and range of tangent x will be from set of reals. Now the next trigonometric function is cotangent. So the domain of the cot is all reals minus this set, those values of x where x is equal to n pi, that is the multiple of pi. And why we subtract this set? Because cot can be written as cos upon sine, and sine is 0 when x is the multiple of pi, right? Therefore the domain of cot is this and range of the cot is all the real sets. Now the next function is secant. The domain of the secant function is r minus this set, again because cos is 0 at these values, right? And the range of the secant x is r minus the interval, the open interval -1 to 1. Next is cosecant function. Now domain of the cosecant is r minus the set of x where x is the multiple of pi. Why? Because cosecant is 1 upon sine. So we have to delete all those values of x where x is the multiple of pi, right? And range of cosecant is from all real set except the interval -1 to 1. Right? Now also this you have studied in chapter 1st of class 12th only, that now we know when a function f is invertible, that is f inverse exists only in the case when f is both 1 1 and onto, right? When f is bijective. Bijective means that the function is both 1 1 and onto. When the function is both 1 1 and onto, then we say that inverse of the function exists, right? And when inverse of a trigonometric function exists, then we say that it is an inverse trigonometric functions, right? Also see, if the function f is from the set a to b is invertible, that is f is both 1 1 and onto, then only f is invertible, and f is invertible means f inverse exists. Then f inverse will be from b to a, that is domain of f will become the range of f inverse, and range of f will become the domain of f inverse, right? Now we will discuss the trigonometric functions and will find the inverse trigonometric functions, right? I have just told you that the sine function, its domain is the set of reals and range is from -1 to 1, right? The graph of sine x will be like this. At the multiples of pi, 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, -2 pi, value of sin x will be 0, right? And at the multiples of pi by 2, it is either 1 or -1. As we can see, the value of sin pi by 2 is 1, then sin 3 pi by 2 is -1, then sin 5 pi by 2 is 1. If we see on the left side, sin minus pi by 2 is -1, then sin minus 3 by pi by 2 is 1, right? Now this is the function of sin x. You can see easily from the function of sin x that it is not 1 1. Why? Because now see here, at the point 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, we can see that the value of sin is 0, right? So because at different values of x, the function sine takes the same value, Therefore, the function is not 1, 1. and because now the function is not 1 1, its inverse can't exist, right? Therefore what we do, we have to restrict the domain of the function of the sine to make it 1 1 and onto, right? We will restrict the domain in such a way that the function of sine will become both 1 1 and onto. Now see, for this the range of the sine function is from -1 to 1, right? So take that interval of the domain so that we get all the values from the -1 to 1, and also no two different values of x will give us the same result, right? So suppose if I select this range, this part of the domain from -π/2 to π/2, right? This, if I select from -π/2 to π/2, this is our domain, then range will be, you can see the graph of the function, this to this, that is from -1 to 1, right? If I select -π/2 to π/2 as the domain, then the value of the function sine will go from -1 to 1, that is it will be 1 1 also and onto also in this domain, right? You can see it will take all the values from -1 to 1. Also at different values of x we will get different values of sine. So if I take the domain of the sine function as -π/2 to π/2, then I have already told you, then it will be bijective and inverse will exist, right? And sine inverse will be in that case -1 to 1 to the interval -π/2 to π/2, right? You can take any other domain also. Suppose if I take from the π/2 to 3π/2. Now see, from π/2 to 3π/2, the value of sine will be from 1 to -1, right? This will be the value of y, this complete. So if I take the domain as from π/2 to 3π/2, then also the function will be 1 1 and onto, right? So sine can also be taken as from π/2 to 3π/2 to -1 to 1. That is, I am restricting the domain of the sine function from R to just this, right? Also it is bijective. Now in this case inverse will exist, and it will be from -1 to 1 to range will be this π/2 to 3π/2, right? But universally we always consider this as the sine inverse function, right? This is also correct, but universally we take sine inverse as this function, and therefore it is known as principal value branch. In each inverse trigonometric functions you will get principal value branch, which means that we have restricted the domain from R to this, from -π/2 to π/2, right? So we will consider the sine inverse function as this only, where domain is this and range is this. Now see, this is the graph of sine x. In sine inverse x, because domain and range will interchange, right? Therefore now the the graph of sine inverse x will be like this, right? Now we will discuss one more inverse trigonometric function. So you know the function of cos is from R to -1 to 1, right? That is, the domain is the complete real set and the range is from the -1 to 1. But again we can see this function is not 1 1, and therefore its inverse can't exist. Why? Because see, at 0 the value is 1, at 2π you can see the value of cos is 1, right? So at different values of x we are getting same value of cos, therefore the function is not 1 1 and inverse can't exist. Therefore we have to restrict its domain so that the function becomes bijective. Now if I restrict the domain from 0 to pi, so see, from 0 to pi the value of the function will be this up to here, right? So from 0 to pi, if I take this as the domain, the function will contain all the values from -1 to 1. Also at different values of x we will get different values of cos, right? So if I take this as the domain, then my function cos will be 1 1 also and on 2 also, right? Therefore we will take the function of cos as from 0 to pi as the domain, and range will be from -1 to 1. Now in this case it is 1 1 also and on 2 also. So because it is bijective, now inverse will exist. Cos inverse function will be, now the domain will be from -1 to 1 and range will be from 0 to pi, right? We can also take any other domain. Suppose if I take from pi to 2 pi, then the value of cos will be these points, right? So it is from -1 to 1, and also at different values of x we are getting different values of y, right? Therefore we can also take this as the domain, but universally we take the domain of cos as this, right? So for cos inverse x, this is the principal value branch. This is the table which tells the domain and range of inverse trigonometric functions, right? And these domain and range are in its principal value branch. You have to learn this table to solve the questions. This table is very important. You can also find it in your book, right? So we have already calculated that for sine inverse, domain is -1 to 1 in the closed interval and range is in the closed interval -pi/2 to pi/2. Cos inverse, domain is this and range is 0 to pi in the closed interval, right? Now in cosecant inverse, this was the range of the function cosecant. So now in cosecant inverse, this will be domain of the function, right? And range of this cosecant inverse will be -pi/2 to pi/2, but subtract 0. Similarly, you can see for these functions what is the range, right? Basically you have to learn these range, because all this you know from class 11th only. So you have to learn these range very carefully. Now there are some note. The first is that these two terms are not same. This is sine inverse x, that is inverse trigonometric function, and this is inverse of sine x, that is 1 upon sine x, right? So 1 upon sine x is not equal to sine inverse x. Second is, if value of any inverse trigonometric functions lies in the range of PVB, that is principal value branch, then it is known as principal value, right? So in the first exercise of chapter 8, we will do this only. We will find the principal values, right? And principal values are those when they lie between the range of the principal value branches, right? If suppose I say sine inverse 1, then sine inverse 1 is pi/2 and pi/2 lies in this range, right? So we can say that principal value of sine inverse 1 is pi/2. So if the value of inverse trigonometric functions lies in these respective ranges, then we say it is a principal value. Now question number first is to find the principal value of sine inverse 1/√2. That is, we have to find such an angle so that value of sine at that angle is 1/√2, and also that angle lies in the range of principal value branch, right? So first of all, let the sine inverse 1/√2 as y. Now 1 by root 2 will be sine y, and we know sine pi by 4 is 1 by root 2, right? So we can say that y or this complete is equal to pi by 4. Now we have to check if this lies between the range of sine inverse or not. So the range of the sine inverse is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, and pi by 4 lies in this range. Therefore we will say this is the principal value of sine inverse 1 by root 2. Clear? See one more question. Cot inverse minus 1 by root 3. Now we have to find the principal value of cot inverse minus 1 upon root 3. So first of all, let this as y. Now cot y will be minus 1 by root 3. Also the range of the cot inverse in the principal value branch, it is 0 to pi, which you have to learn. It will not be given. You have to learn this from that table only, right? So principal value branch is from 0 to pi. Now cot y is minus cot pi by 3. See, it is minus 1 by root 3, and you know the value of 1 by root 3 is at pi by 3, right? Cot pi by 3 is 1 by root 3. Now see, this can be written as cot of minus x, because cot of minus x is minus cot x. But if I write it like this, then my y will be equal to minus pi by 3, right? But we want this y to lie in this range from 0 to pi. Therefore y cannot be equal to minus pi by 3. Therefore we cannot write it like this, right? Because if I will write it as equal to this, then y will be minus pi by 3, which I don't want, because y should lie in this range from 0 to pi. Therefore what we have to do, we have to make the changes in this angle. Now see, if we can write it as cot pi minus pi by 3, at pi cot will remain cot. Also this angle lies in the second quadrant where cot is negative, so this is nothing but equal to minus cot pi by 3, right? Therefore this can be written as cot pi minus pi by 3. Now solve this angle, it will be cot 2 pi by 3, and now this angle lies in this range 0 to pi, right? Therefore y will be equal to 2 pi by 3. Now the next question is tan inverse minus 1. We have to find its principal value. Let it equal to y. Also the principal value should lie in this range from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now minus 1 is equal to 10y. This minus 1 can be written as minus 10 pi by 4, and minus 10x can be written as 10 minus x. And you can see this minus pi by 4 lies in this range. Therefore we can take y as equal to minus pi by 4. Clear? So your today's homework is that you have to complete exercise 2.1. Okay, thank you.